Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to what will be a series of videos on body language. What's my body telling you right now, huh? What's it saying? This particular video will be focused on our hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
Now before I get into it, I want to make some things clear, and it pertains to all body language. You can't assume that someone feels a certain way based on one signal that you see. Instead, you have to read the cluster of signals. If this sounds confusing, that's okay, because you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we all talk with our hands, some more than others, and I'm definitely somebody who tends to use them a lot. It helps us convey our message better, and it can help show the intensity of that message. Alright, so let's get to it. Whenever you see someone with their palms facing open to you, or whoever it is that they're talking to, and it can be both hands or just one, then this indicates openness and or surrender. Our palms are a fairly intimate part of our bodies, hence why we shake hands to greet someone or to confirm a deal, and why we hold hands with a significant other. Now, a couple other hand gestures you might see are the palms facing up, the palms facing down, and the closed hand pointed finger. Now when you see the palms facing up, it's almost exactly the same as when you see the palms facing towards the person. It shows kindness and openness, and it's a universally accepted gesture.
Yeah, sorry, everyone, this is Ian.
If you're trying to persuade someone who you've just met, or if they seem a little put off by you, this is a good gesture to use. When you see the palms facing down, this indicates a sign of dominance. Usually this is going to be used by speakers who are trying to make a point, and by leaders who are speaking to their subordinates. It can put some people off because they may see it as aggressive, so use with caution. Now here's an example of why you need to read body language in clusters. If I'm telling you, for example, how something increased over time, I'm going to use the palm facing down gesture. This doesn't necessarily mean that I feel that I need to be dominant in this situation, but it's just how I'm naturally going to use my hand as I'm showing you that increase. Now the closed hand pointed finger, we all know what this one means, and none of us like it. It means you're in trouble and you better listen. It's almost always seen as being aggressive, which is why hardly anyone likes to be faced with that gesture.
It is time to stop pointing fingers. Finger pointing gets us nowhere. Steve?
A good alternative for that is to either connect the index finger with the thumb, or make like a closed-handed gesture with the thumb laying on top. These are very good to use for when you want to convey an important and serious message without being overly aggressive. You'll be seen as intelligent and kind, and also as someone who should be listened to. Alright, moving on. Now, if you see this prayer-like posture called the preacher, then the person is feeling confident and or dominant. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they're being domineering, but that they feel confident in themselves and in what they're saying. It's generally seen as a serious gesture by others, and they'll listen closer, but some people may be put off by it. Also, the higher it is, the more dominant and serious they feel. Another one is if you see the hands clenched where the fingers are interlocked, this indicates frustration and or anger. Here's an example of the last two gestures being used by the current and the future President of the United States.
We want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
Obama is clearly not happy about Trump becoming president, and Trump at the same time is confident in himself that he'll do a good job, but at the same time he's also not being obnoxious about it by holding that preacher position pretty low. Alright, now please be aware that generally speaking, body language is an unconscious phenomenon. Now, I say generally because there are instances where people will use it to their advantage in order to portray themselves in a certain way or to convince someone of something. Heck, politicians do it all the dang time, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with it. Sometimes it's a smart move. But generally speaking, body language is going to be a clear indicator into how the person is feeling, because we can't control our body language every second of every day of our lives. Not to mention that most people just don't know that much about body language anyway. And that's it. I hope this video helps you guys out. Please make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.